It's Wombat Jones for Ramen Chokehold here with a man making an appearance. He's a third last on the main card there at Coastal Combat 4. I'm here with Bradford the Viper Cowie. How you going, mate?
Yeah, good. Thanks, Wombat.
Mate, this is two Vipers in a week for me. I had Matt the Viper Vale on a couple of days ago. Mate, what's going on with the nicknames? What, you can't come up with anything or what?
Yeah. Actually, I'm not sure. I think he's got the mortgage on the nickname, but I got given that nickname probably 5 or so years ago when I first started training up at a combat lab. The way it came about was, you get to know guys, and they ask you questions, and they're like, "Oh, so, you got any kids?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I got 4 kids." And they're like, "Oh, it was pretty crazy for a young guy to have that many kids." And then a few months later, I come in to say, "Hey, what's happening?" And be like, "Oh, having another kid." This is to Joel. This is to my coach Joel. And he's like, "Oh, no way. I have to start calling you the Viper. The Viper strikes again." And so it's pretty much stuck.
What sort of challenges does it throw your way?
Yeah, it does make getting to training a little bit hard sometimes. I might skip a night here and there, especially during fight camp, and I'll get a message on my phone from my coach Joel saying, "Where are you? Why aren't you here tonight?" And then so what I like to do is have a little flow chart I've made. I'm not sure if you can see that, but it's my excuses for not training tonight flow chart. And here I have my 3 options, main options. I have kids, work, and injuries. And so if I chose kids, I'd go down to, and I'd choose one of my 6 kids to, so let's say I might go kids, Amani, and she is either sick or needs babysitting or she has a performance. So I can just pick one of these options and I'll come up with kids, Amani sick, or it might be injuries. I hurt my back, knee, a few options there, or it might be work. I'm working late or I'm stuck in traffic. So yeah, it helps me out to come up with a nice excuse for Joel, because I can't really tell him that I'm at home playing Fortnite or PUBG. So
fantastic, mate. And how did you get yourself into MMA?
Actually, the reason I started doing martial arts, I work as a commercial roofer, and I had a fair bit of lower back problems. So I wanted to do something, work on my core muscles and strengthen up that area to help out. And I started hitting the gyms, doing the weights and whatnot, but just found that pretty boring. And I was working down in Melbourne at the time, and just walked into a mixed MMA gym down there, Hangar 4, and saw this thing, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Never heard about it before, and gave it a go. And after the first class, I was hooked. It was just exactly what I was looking for. And just went from there. So I was working in Melbourne but living on the coast. So as soon as I got back to the Sunshine Coast, jumped on the internet, tried to find a local gym, and that's where I found Combat Lab and went down, signed up, and yeah, I've been there for a fair while now, 6.5 years or so. It's going good.
And you brought it up. I was actually going to bring it up. It's in my list of questions next, is that you do own your own roofing company. So you're up there in the Sunshine Coast. I mean, we might as well try. It's no as good a time to try and sell some roofing if we can. Whereabouts are you up on the Sunshine Coast, mate?
Yeah, up in Budrum at the moment. So I do have the roofing company, and yeah, to be honest, honestly, the less roofing I do, the better. I just do enough. It just pays the bills and whatnot. It's if I could get out of that and do something I enjoy, I'd love to do that. Something to do with training would be fantastic. But roofing is a job. It's all right, pays the bills. It's hard on the body though, very hard. So
what's harder on the body, mate? Roofing or going to training every week?
Oh man, it's bit of column A, bit of column B there. I reckon they're both pretty tough. Roofing, I mean, any guys who work in the trades, they're pretty hard on the body, hard physical work. And sometimes I'd rather get punched in the face and go to work, actually, to be honest.
So Joel gave you a shout out in our interview that we did, and he did mention your age. I think he knocked a year off or 2. But you're obviously starting your career a lot later than what most young fellas. I mean, most young fellas with a couple of amateur fights these days are 15, 16 years old, So what spurred all this on?
Oh, it's funny, man. I was always pretty active. My young days, I used to play rugby league, rugby union, and do a bit of surfing. And then once I started training in the jiu-jitsu and started training with Joel, it just sort of evolved. It was never a thing I really wanted to do per se, until I kept on training, helping the other guys out with the fight camps. With we had Ty Duncan, Joel Fahey, some pretty top level welterweights. So we'd help them out with their fight camps, and just got a real taste for it. And I was given an opportunity to fight on Coastal Combat. So all my fights have been on the Coastal Combat show. And what was the question again?
Doesn't matter. Who gives a shit? I can edit it out.
That's right. I can't remember. I was going to make a point, but I just can't remember what it was.
Doesn't matter. We'll move on to the next thing.
Let's just say, with the age thing, I sort of was a bit hesitant, but maybe didn't think I could match it with the with the younger guys. Before I started training, I didn't know what Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu was or MMA. I didn't really watch the UFC. I had a sort of a passing interest in it. But after the training, watching the guys and going down watching UFC together, just the love for it grew. I always did like watching combat sports, boxing and whatnot. And I don't know if you call WWF a combat sport, but I used to enjoy watching that too.
Oh, mate, I think we all did. I'm kind of your era as well. And in fact, you might actually officially be the eldest fighter that I've interviewed so far. I'm younger than someone. This is beautiful, mate. I love it. I don't look it. I've got the greys to prove that. but mate, let's talk about Coastal Combat, because it's the first time I'm coming up for the show. It's the first time I'm going to be there. And like you said, you've had your couple of fights on Coastal Combat. What's that like as a fight promotion? Because you've obviously been to other promotions. Like you said, you got the other fighters ready, and you've probably been to an XFC or two or all that sort of thing. What's Coastal Combat like?
Compared to others, I love the atmosphere, because they're sort of a smaller size, more of a boutique event, and so we're all packed in, and the atmosphere is great. It's a full house. The crowd is right there, and not that when I'm fighting I can hear the crowd. It's pretty much all blanked out, but it's just a great night. Joel really looks after all the fighters and coaches. He does a lot of work. I mean, I see him day in, day out as he's getting ready for the show. He has his normal job. He runs the gym as well, and then he does a promotion. Like, I don't know where he finds the time, to be honest. He must be running on about 2 hours sleep a night, I reckon.
We'll sleep when we're dead, baby. We'll sleep when we're dead. But let's talk about your fight now. Now you're taking on Brandon Walsh, another up-and-coming amateur talent from up there. Have you been checking out his film? Do you know who he is, and what can you expect, mate?
Yeah, I know who he is. There's not much film to check out. I think his first fight went for 6 or 7 seconds, and his second fight was, I'm not sure. I think it was over within under a minute. I think. It was
under a minute, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly. So there's not much film to study. I from what I've heard, he's pretty good striker. He's got a bit of power in his hands, so it's going to be trying to avoid that. And athletic and young. He's got 16 years on me, so I think that's probably going to play a big part. But I think I can handle that. Maybe experience will come through. Old 20 years working on the roof, a bit of toughness there. So who knows?
So what sort of game are we looking to employ here?
We do have a solid game plan. It does involve getting him to the ground, definitely. I think out of all my fights, this is the only fight where I probably have the definite advantage on the ground. I believe like Brandon's only is a white belt, and I'm the purple belt. Like my last fight with Jay Odell, he's a solid grappler. Was actually the grappling coach of Tribal MMA. And my first fight, I was against a blue belt. No, I was a blue belt at the same time. So it was I've pretty much taken on 2 grapplers in my first 2 fights, and so this one, I'm looking forward to actually having probably the dominance on the ground.
And have you been doing sort of any visualization or anything like that? Does Joel get you to do that stuff?
Oh, he doesn't get us to do it. I'll probably just do it myself. I do have the belief in my head I've already won, and you know, not to come across cocky or anything like that, but yeah, you know, I think going in that way is just a good way to handle the situation. Yeah, you know, I do visualize, but I don't try and visualize the fight, how the fight's going to go. You know, I just sort of, you know, visualize the end result. You know, I want to see myself at the end with the belt on, getting my photo taken with the ring girls, because that makes a great Tinder profile pic.
Happy days. Open slather, ladies and gentlemen. Now, mate, I want to get a prediction from you, not about your fight, but for Khabib and Conor. I've been asking everyone. I'm interested in everyone's take on it, mate.
Yeah. I can't go past Khabib. He's an animal monster. I think he'll just get his hands on him and take him down. Pretty much what I want to do, actually, the same sort of style. So yeah.
It seems to be a combat lab thing, that's for damn sure. So, mate, you know, sort of lastly, who do you want to thank? Obviously, you can't do this by yourself. People help you out getting you to the fight. So, who do you want to thank?
Oh, definitely all the team down at Combat Lab, and yeah, not just the fight team, but all the members. You know, we're a little family down there, and we help each other out. Yeah, it's a great little gym, and having said that, Tyler Cully has been here for my last 2 fight camps. Actually, all 3 fight camps. He wasn't able to. He got injured on the first one, so he wasn't able to fight. Yeah, he's a great guy, great training partner. We've got some young guns coming through. Will and Jake, you'll get to see them perform. They've been great for this camp, and Tia as well. And then we've got the mainstays of the gym. You know, Ty Duncans. We've got Ben Wall working on the wrestling, UFC veteran, and just the whole other coaching stuff. We've got Dan Maudsley doing our striking coach. Nicole's there just the support. Like Nicole's, you know, the woman behind the man sort of thing, and they're a great team, those two. And yeah, just the whole family at Combat Lab, pretty much.
Fantastic, mate. There he is, ladies and gentlemen. Bradford the Viper Cowie. He's taking on Brandon Walsh. It's all going down this Saturday night, September 8th at the Coolum Civic Centre. There are all tickets left, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're in the area and you want to see this man throw down, make sure you contact the Coastal Combat page very quickly, their Facebook page, that is. So, mate, thanks so much for coming on, and I'll be seeing you up there.
Awesome. Looking forward to it.
Thanks, buddy. Talk to you soon.
See you.